Hello everyone, so I know this isn't the normal style of video that I put on the channel, but I thought we would have a look at a different perspective of the gameplay. If I remember correctly, this was actually done on a live stream that was shot a couple days or weeks ago now at this point. But yeah, so I thought I would just talk through a little bit of the gameplay, considering this game actually went surprisingly well, and does showcase the sort of importance and interoperability of the scout tanks and NBTs working together as a squad, and also eventually a team. So in the background you'll see some of the random antics of top tier and the usual stuff, but we'll soon get on to dealing with a little bit of engagement and prepping for where we're going to be spaced the majority of the video. So I don't know if any of you realised there, but I did kind of lose my squad mate at the start. They got a little bit lost. So it was now caught up to me. I'm now signaling out where we're going to go. I'm a little bit trigger happy. I was half expecting a strong enemy presence. Unfortunately that was a teammate I shot. But we're in RB, so it doesn't really do anything. So this is the first time I get the drone up in the game. This is pretty much how we're going to find out where everybody is. So put it in orbit so I don't have to think about anything. You can immediately see a Russian, I believe that's a T-72, sitting there waiting to pop anybody that shows up. I can see a lot of allies, leopards and stuff all sitting there waiting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head towards the enemy spawn with the drone. My idea is, if you sit in the enemy spawn location to kind of behind it, usually when SPAs get up, they don't tend to look behind them, because normally the teammates are behind them. I take a few pot shots at the tank. I know I'm not going to kill it. Unfortunately my squad mate gets killed by another enemy. I didn't quite see where they shot them from, so I just kind of stay put. I've not died yet, which usually means they don't see me. I'm currently in their spawn now, which means anybody who's looking my direction, well, would hopefully just assume that I'm one of the friendly drones. I clock this wee Bradley coming up. I've already got eyes on him, because with a UAV you can make it into your minimap. I know he's about to peek, so I can sit posted up ready. He had absolutely no idea I was there. So that was a very, very one-sided and quick success. So now it's just going to be a case of waiting. I know there's an enemy tank there. As you can see, I've got a really good thermal camera on this drone. This is one of the modifications you can get for quite a lot of the light tanks actually. Some people use them a little bit more creatively with things like the BMPs where you can do some arty. Fortunately with this I don't have that power because I'm currently in the Puma. As you can see, somebody did a wee bombing run. Not too much success there sadly. Missed everything. So you can see a guy up the top right as well, or far right, covered by my minimap for now. So there's 3 enemies there, and you can see them all moving about. My squad mate's actually coming to meet up with me again. I'm just waiting on her catching up. I'm just going to pop a couple of wee spots down just to hope that my teammates realise, but that'll soon become apparent in a wee moment. Just a little precautionary knocking down the barrier so I can actually see down there, give me a nice clear line of sight and making sure that there's nobody else that's going to jump my squad mate on the way up to my position. And I was communicating to her throughout the whole time of the party, and that's also seen in the live stream. These 2 tanks here, I'm pretty sure are the ones that go try and flank us in a second. So there's another guy there on the cap, and there's 2 flanking T-72s. One of them's a T-72 Terms, I think the other one's like a T-72B something, if I remember correctly. So I know they're coming up this way. I mark this. I'm posted up and ready, and they've got no idea that we know they're there. I tried to track him, but failed. Got back up and realised the second one's already there, so I have to take a few shots at them. Knock out their engine, knock out their gun. They can't do anything. My squad mate knocked out the blue T-72. So now I'm just going to sit flanking this guy and annoy him. My squad mate didn't quite understand where I was trying to call out to them. The first shot didn't really do much else besides what I've done, then somebody else managed to get the finish on them. Yeah, it was a T-72B like I said. So, as you've seen, that ambush was very, very quickly countered just by me having the ability to see them without them even knowing I exist. So, now this cap seems clear, I think we'll just monitor how everything goes. We'll skip ahead a wee bit because not much else happens. We're just going to sit here, look about, looking for more vehicles. A little bit later on the match, they start capping the point again. I spy this little guy here. It looks like an Abrams from this point of view. So, I spot him on the map. Hopefully the teammates recognise that by this point, when I spot something, I'm pointing something out that's a bit more useful to them. So you can see 3 teammates approaching there. One of them stopped to shoot at something, 2 of them are on the move in. I'm trying to explain to my squad mate how she could flank. I'm trying to point out to the road that she could go down to get behind them and get a nice wee free kill. One of our teammates has already clocked onto the idea of that. I checked down the road to make sure he's not going to get shot, and my squad mate could possibly intervene there. She gets in a firing position, cover that road. His teammates go in and very, very quickly take out the Abrams that was there. My squad mate, she presses down. I let her know that, you know, they managed to beat her to it. She was a bit slow, so it's back to looking about again. We're now capping the point. All the teammates are here. We've got about 4 teammates on the cap. I'm still on that same kind of position here. I decide I'm bored. We'll go for a wee drive. I thought I'd come up to the cap and at least make myself semi-productive. So they'll start moving about. I move up to the next little barricade there. Puma's not got much armour. It's top tier, so nothing really has any armour, so I thought I would take cover here whilst I await on more stuff happening with the match. My drone's kind of wandered off to the middle of nowhere, and it's not been shot down yet, which is always a benefit. It usually gets shot down and you have to run to a cap to go and get a new one. I'm looking about for any enemies because we've got a lot of teammates and not a lot of action, which usually implies there's a handful of enemies. Good thing about thermals, really easy to spot tanks. Bad thing about thermals, it's really easy to spot dead tanks. So it's just trying to work out what's dead, what's alive. Clocked the T-72 killed somebody, but I've got absolutely no idea where he was. There's only a handful of guys left at this point, so match is pretty much over, and shocker, we got best squad. But all in all, working together with IFVs and MBTs together turns out quite successful, especially when you're not always overcomplicating.